ट्रैक किया है, साथ
यही kill them all.
निकाल ले फिर अपनी भड़ास पैर पे।
And down. Put the chip in.
असली स्टील।
एक साथ
Basically, they're self-healing. यहाँ कोई पाप
हाँ चलो
सब खत्म हो जाएगा।
come get me. Give up, God.
प्रिया, प्रिया।
Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst into the high-octane world of Bade Miyan Chote Miyan 2024. Oh, a film that promises more explosions than a fireworks factory on New Year's Eve, plus a hefty dose of bromance and banter. We'll be breaking down every jaw-dropping stunt and head-scratching plot twist. Prepare for action, drama, and some seriously questionable physics, all wrapped up in a package designed to entertain. If you had a good time with this, a like and a subscribe is a free way to help me keep making more. So, buckle up because our adventure begins with a bang, literally. The movie kicks off in a rather explosive fashion, setting a grim tone right from the get-go.
Yeah? Because I'm the best.
पावरफुल एंड परफेक्शनिस्ट कौन है?
Come on, God.
को वेट डालता था
पबजी नहीं
Guys, is everything okay?
Not okay. चल छोटे
निकाल जल्दी क्या हुआ
No. ऐसा नहीं
कैसे लोग
The tunnel now.
Tunnel to Oscar. Tunnel to.
Is he dead?
चलो टाइम नहीं
He's been compromised.
लास्ट में होती है
Who are you?
ये बट
बकरी
No goat.
तो लेके जा वॉल्ट में जल्दी
Thanks.
जहाँ जाता फंस जाता तू देख के
अच्छा बोलना पड़े क्यों है नहीं नहीं ऐसा ना यार ये आदमी है या डैंड्रफ साला जाता ही नहीं
तिजोरी खुली
देखिए
इट्स ओके कैरी ऑन Take Pam out. Rocket.
Misha
talk to me please. Just fill me in. Tell me what I'm.
हाँ एक और मास वाला है रॉकी प्रिया get up
They are here. Oh, no! But I'm this close, Bashi. Go!
We open on a harrowing scene, a top-secret Indian convoy bristling with advanced military tech, making its way through a treacherous, snowy pass. The silence is thick, broken only by the rumble of the vehicles and the crunch of snow under heavy tires. Suddenly, a deafening explosion rips through the air, sending snow and debris skyward. It's an ambush, and it's brutally effective. The armored vehicles are torn apart with unnerving ease, the metallic shriek of rending steel echoing through the mountains. This isn't just a random attack. It's a meticulously planned assault led by the enigmatic and terrifying figure known as Kabir. He makes his presence known through a chilling, digitized voice, broadcasting a sinister message to the world. He's not just after hardware. He's targeting the very backbone of India's defense system. His motive? A twisted sense of retribution, a desire to erase India's military might, which, let's be honest, sounds like a lot of work for one guy. The sense of dread is palpable as he declares his intent to dismantle the nation's pride piece by piece. His words, delivered with icy calm, cut through the screen, setting up the colossal threat our heroes will soon face. The visual of him, masked and surrounded by his shadowy operatives, just oozes pure, unadulterated villainy, making it clear this isn't your average bank robber. This guy's playing chess, and everyone else is just a pawn. Cut to London, where we meet Captain Firoz, affectionately known as Bade Miyan, played by the ever-charismatic Akshay Kumar. He's introduced not in a military briefing, but rather, shall we say, enjoying the local nightlife. Specifically, he's in a rather upscale bar, looking effortlessly cool, probably on some unofficial, highly important mission to locate the nearest pint. However, his tranquil evening is abruptly interrupted when a group of rather aggressive gentlemen decide that his personal space, or perhaps his drink, is public property. What follows is a whirlwind of perfectly timed punches, swift dodges, and the kind of disarming moves that only exist in action movies. The satisfying crack of knuckles against chins, the grunt of impact, and the clatter of dropped weapons fill the air. Firoz, with a smirk that says, "Been there, done that," handles them with a practiced ease that's both impressive and slightly infuriating for anyone who's ever tried to open a jar of pickles. He's clearly a force to be reckoned with, a maverick who operates outside the conventional lines, much to the chagrin of his superiors. The scene perfectly establishes his character, skilled, charming, and utterly unfazed by a little bit of fisticuffs before midnight. His movements are fluid, almost dance-like, as he weaves through the assailants, each strike landing with precise, impactful force. It's a classic hero introduction, proving he's still got it in spades. Meanwhile, across the globe, in a scene that screams, "Hold my beer," we're introduced to Captain Rakesh, or Chote Miyan, brought to life by the incredibly agile Tiger Shroff. He's not exactly enjoying a quiet evening. Instead, he's in the middle of a pulse-pounding chase on a motorcycle through what appears to be a very crowded market. He's wanted for, shall we say, questionable conduct during a mission, which is just military speak for doing something awesome but highly unauthorized. The chase sequence is a masterclass in vehicular mayhem, with the roar of the motorcycle engine dominating the soundscape as Rakesh weaves through stalls, sending fruits and vegetables flying in a vibrant cascade. The metallic clang of his bike scraping against railings and the shouts of startled vendors add to the chaotic symphony. He performs jaw-dropping stunts, including an absolutely bonkers leap over a double-decker bus, defying gravity and probably a few traffic laws. The camera lingers on his determined face, sweat glistening as he navigates obstacles with gymnastic precision. It's clear that Chote Miyan is a one-man army, fearless, impulsive, and possessing a superhuman ability to stick impossible landings. He's the kind of guy who doesn't just think outside the box. He jumps over it on a motorbike while doing a triple backflip. The scene is a kinetic explosion of energy, establishing him as the younger, perhaps more reckless, but equally formidable counterpart to Bade Miyan. Back at headquarters, General Adil Shekhar, played with stoic gravitas by Ronit Roy, is in a bind. Kabir's attacks aren't just isolated incidents. They're escalating, targeting India's top scientists and military strategists, leaving behind a trail of destruction and classified data leaks. The tension in the briefing room is so thick you could cut it with a ceremonial sword. The screens display grim statistics and intercepted cryptic messages from Kabir, each one a chilling reminder of his growing power. The general knows he needs a solution, and fast. The usual protocols and highly trained special forces aren't cutting it against this phantom menace. He realizes the situation calls for something unconventional. He needs two individuals who operate on instinct, whose methods might be unorthodox, but whose effectiveness is undeniable. He needs the best of the worst, the mavericks who cause as much trouble as they solve. The murmur of concerned officers and the clicking of keyboards fill the air, underscoring the urgency. It's a classic darkest hour setup, where the heroes we've just met, for all their disciplinary issues, become the only hope. The general's face is etched with worry, knowing he's about to make a very risky call, essentially unleashing two chaotic forces in the hopes they'll cancel out an even bigger one. It's like hiring two bulls to clean up a china shop, hoping they don't break anything on their way out. The stakes are clear. Fail, and India's security could crumble. The general makes the fateful decision to recall Firoz and Rakesh. Now, this isn't your average welcome back hero scenario. Both Firoz and Rakesh are, let's just say, on leave due to their inability to follow simple instructions like don't cause international incidents. The scene masterfully cuts between their respective hideouts as the general tries to cajole, threaten, and ultimately order them back into service. Firoz, ever the charmer, initially dismisses the call with a witty retort, and a sigh that implies he's far too busy enjoying his sabbatical, probably doing something incredibly important like perfecting his golf swing. The faint sound of his protest is almost drowned out by the general's exasperated sigh. Rakesh, on the other hand, is a whirlwind of youthful defiance, scoffing at the idea of returning to a system he clearly despises. He's more interested in showing off his parkour skills than listening to a boring old general. The dialogue crackles with their refusal, their reluctance a humorous contrast to the dire situation. The general, however, is a seasoned negotiator and knows just which buttons to push, appealing to their patriotism, their ego, and perhaps even hinting at the severity of Kabir's threat. The background sounds of each hero's locale, the quiet hum of Firoz's elegant flat, the distant city bustle around Rakesh, emphasize their disparate worlds soon to collide. It's like trying to herd two very stubborn, very dangerous cats into the same carrier, and the general's patience is wearing thinner than a paper towel in a hurricane. The inevitable happens. Bade Miyan and Chote Miyan finally meet. And, oh boy, it's not exactly a love-at-first-sight situation. They're ushered into a secure facility, probably one of those underground bunkers that look like a villain's lair, but are actually for good guys. The air instantly thickens with a palpable tension, punctuated by the faint hum of machinery in the background. Firoz, with his seasoned, almost weary confidence, sizes up the younger, more boisterous Rakesh. Rakesh, meanwhile, sees Firoz as an aging relic, a has-been who probably tells war stories about rotary phones. Their initial exchange is a rapid-fire volley of sarcastic jabs, each trying to assert dominance with witty insults. The sound of their voices, tinged with mutual disdain, fills the sterile room. It's less a meeting of minds and more a clash of colossal egos. They're like two alpha dogs sniffing around the same bone, each convinced they're the superior canine. The general and their handler, Captain Misha, played by Aliyah F., watch on, probably wondering if they've made a terrible mistake. The quiet clicks of Misha's tablet as she takes notes add to the pressure cooker atmosphere. The scene sets up their dynamic perfectly. They're undeniably skilled, but getting them to work together will be like trying to convince a cat and a dog to share a single bowl of milk. Spoiler alert, chaos and a lot of eye-rolling ensues. Their first mission together is a raid on a suspected Kabir stronghold. A sprawling, dimly lit warehouse filled with anonymous goons and dubious-looking crates. It's a classic setup for a chaotic good time. The crunch of their boots on the dusty concrete floor is barely audible as they stealthily infiltrate. However, stealth is a relative term when you have these two involved. Soon enough, the quiet gives way to the exhilarating symphony of an action sequence, the rapid-fire crackle of gunfire, the sharp metallic ring of their kicks connecting with metal, and the satisfying thud of bodies hitting the ground. Firoz, with his calculated precision, moves like a shadow, disarming foes with practiced ease, each punch and block delivered with efficient, brutal grace. Rakesh, meanwhile, is a blur of acrobatic prowess, leaping, flipping, and spinning through the air, delivering aerial kicks that would make a ballet dancer weep with envy. They bicker constantly, even mid-fight, about who gets the more impressive takedowns, adding a layer of comedic banter to the brutal ballet of combat. The clatter of weapons hitting the floor, the grunts of pain, and the occasional shouted quip from one of our heroes fill the soundscape. Despite their constant jabs, they move with a surprising, almost telepathic coordination, covering each other's backs with seamless efficiency. It's a beautiful, chaotic dance of destruction, proving that even a dysfunctional duo can be devastatingly effective. This warehouse raid isn't just a fight. It's a statement. Kabir, you've got two very annoying, very dangerous problems on your hands now. After the warehouse spectacle, our dynamic duo and Misha interrogate a captured henchman who, after a little encouragement from Rakesh's gravity-defying moves and Firoz's intimidating calm, spill some beans. The interrogation room buzzes with a low, tense energy, the sound of the prisoner's ragged breathing and the occasional thud of a fist on the table punctuating the silence. The information leads them to a high-security lab where Kabir is supposedly developing a new, terrifying weapon. It's a classic setup for a trap, and our heroes, despite their bravado, sense it. The air outside the lab hums with an almost electric tension as they approach, the rhythmic crunch of their tactical boots on gravel emphasizing the building suspense. Firoz, ever the pragmatist, observes the perimeter with a keen eye, the faint whistle of the wind his only companion. Rakesh, on the other hand, is itching for action, his movements restless, almost a low growl emanating from him. Misha, the brains of the operation, tries to guide them via comms, her voice a calm contrast to the brewing storm. They infiltrate the lab, the soft whirring of advanced machinery and the distant hum of computers filling the sterile environment. But just as they think they're closing in, they realize the entire thing is a carefully orchestrated illusion. The weapon is a decoy, and the real target is elsewhere. The faint, almost mocking echo of Kabir's voice on a hidden speaker confirms their worst fears. They've walked right into a diversion, losing precious time. The metallic click of a hidden door shutting behind them signals the trap has sprung, and the realization hits them with the force of a physical blow. Enter Dr. Aina, played by Manushi Chiller, a brilliant cyber expert who probably codes in her sleep. She's tasked with deciphering Kabir's cryptic messages, which are harder to crack than a diamond in a safe, largely because they're designed to mislead. She's surrounded by a symphony of whirring servers and softly glowing screens in a secure data center. The frantic clicking of her keyboard is almost a heartbeat to the scene. While Bade Miyan and Chote Miyan are busy punching things, Dr. Aina is busy bending her brain around complex algorithms. She's the unsung hero, the quiet genius in the storm of explosions. After what feels like an eternity of late-night coffee and binary code, she has a breakthrough. The visual of lines of code scrolling rapidly on her multiple monitors, finally snapping into a coherent message, is immensely satisfying. The soft beep of a successful decryption highlights her moment of triumph. She realizes Kabir's true target isn't just about destroying military hardware, it's about stealing a cutting-edge AI program that could control entire military networks. Essentially, an evil digital genie in a bottle. Her excited gasp and the triumphant glint in her eyes reveal the weight of her discovery. The sound of her quickly relaying the information to the team over the comm system adds urgency. This revelation changes everything, raising the stakes from preventing destruction to stopping global digital domination. It's like finding out the villain isn't just burning down the house, but plans to hack the entire neighborhood's smart homes too. Suddenly, the punching and kicking seem less effective against a foe that's more code than flesh. With the new threat identified, it's time for the obligatory training montage. But this isn't your average Rocky sequence. Here, it's less about getting fit and more about these two highly capable but utterly dysfunctional individuals learning to tolerate each other. The sounds of grunting, metal clanging, and Firaz's sarcastic commentary fill the air. We see them spar, Firaz with his calculated, almost deceptively lazy strikes, and Rakesh with his hyper-athletic, gravity-defying acrobatics. They run through obstacle courses, Firaz opting for efficiency, Rakesh for flash and flare, usually leading to hilarious mishaps where one inadvertently trips the other. The metallic clack of weights being lifted, the rhythmic thud of punching bags, and the sharp hiss of a grappling hook underscore their intense regimen. They're like two magnificent, stubborn horses trying to pull the same cart, each convinced their way is best. There are moments of genuine camaraderie, mixed with their incessant bickering, like Firaz giving Rakesh a helpful shove off a high wall, only for Rakesh to land perfectly and retaliate with a water balloon. The General and Misha observe, probably placing bets on who will crack first. It's during these rigorous sessions, punctuated by the metallic scrape of equipment and the shouts of their instructors, that a grudging respect, and dare I say, a genuine bond, slowly begins to form. They realize that while they're two sides of the same coin, they're much stronger together, even if they still argue about whose turn it is to buy the coffee. The sound of their shared laughter, albeit rare, cuts through the serious training, a promising sign that they might actually save the world without killing each other first. Their newfound synergy is immediately put to the test as Kabir launches his most audacious attack yet, a full-scale assault on a high-profile technology summit in London, where the very AI program he seeks is being presented. The grand, opulent venue, initially filled with the gentle hum of polite conversation and the soft clinking of champagne glasses, is suddenly plunged into chaos. The initial sharp crack of gunfire slices through the air, followed by terrified screams and the crash of overturned tables. It's a meticulously planned ambush, executed with cold precision. Kabir's masked operatives, moving with chilling efficiency, storm the building, their heavy boots thudding against the marble floors. The frantic shouts of panic, the smashing of glass, and the distant wail of sirens quickly turn the elegant summit into a war zone. Firaz and Rakesh, along with Misha, are immediately thrust into the thick of it, their training kicking in. They have to protect the delegates and secure the AI, all while navigating a sea of terrified civilians. The metallic rattle of automatic weapons and the concussive thud of stun grenades add to the overwhelming sensory assault. It's a race against time, with the future of global AI hanging precariously in the balance. The building, once a symbol of technological advancement, now echoes with the sounds of desperation and destruction. This isn't just another skirmish. It's Kabir showing his hand, and it's a terrifying one. Inside the grand ballroom, our heroes are surrounded. What unfolds is an extended, beautifully choreographed brawl that trashes the elegant setting with gleeful abandon. The crystal chandeliers swing precariously, their delicate tinkling drowned out by the thunderous impact of bodies colliding. Firaz, with a table leg, becomes a whirlwind of controlled chaos, deflecting blows and disarming attackers with surprising speed, the soft whoosh of his movements contrasting with the heavy thuds of his strikes. Rakesh, on the other hand, treats the ballroom as his personal parkour gym, leaping onto balconies, sliding across polished floors, and using every piece of furniture as a launch pad for aerial attacks. The satisfying crack of breaking wood and the splintering of glass punctuate every move. Their banter continues even here, Firaz dryly commenting on Rakesh's flair for the dramatic, as Rakesh sends an enemy flying into a giant ice sculpture. Misha, not one to be left out, provides crucial backup, her precise shots picking off distant threats with the sharp report of her pistol. The fight is a symphony of controlled violence, a testament to their individual skills and burgeoning teamwork. The metallic clang of a dropped weapon, the grunt of a defeated foe, and the heavy breathing of our heroes all contribute to the visceral experience. They're not just fighting, they're painting a masterpiece of destruction on a canvas of high society, proving that sometimes the best defense is a really good offense. preferably involving a flying kick and a priceless vase. Just as our heroes think they've won, Kabir makes his grand entrance, appearing on a high balcony, his masked face briefly illuminated. He reveals that the entire summit was a diversion, a cunning ploy to expose a hidden data vault containing the true prize, sensitive defense algorithms, not the AI prototype. His voice, now clearer and more human, carries a mocking tone that cuts through the still ringing echoes of the fight. The faint whirring of rotors grows louder as a sleek, futuristic stealth helicopter descends to pluck him away. The powerful downdraft whips through the room, scattering papers and debris, emphasizing his untouchable presence. Firaz and Rakesh scramble to stop him, but it's too late. The metallic shriek of the helicopter's ascent, coupled with Kabir's chilling, almost triumphant smirk, leaves our heroes defeated and utterly frustrated. They watch helplessly as he vanishes into the London night, leaving them with a fresh dose of self-doubt and a ruined ballroom. The thud of Firaz's fist against a wall speaks volumes about their shared exasperation. The sound of distant sirens, finally arriving, only adds to the bitter irony of their partial victory. It's a gut-punch moment, highlighting Kabir's superior intellect and proving that he's always several steps ahead, playing a game of chess while everyone else is still figuring out checkers. The mission was a success in terms of saving lives, but a monumental failure in capturing the elusive villain. The fallout from London is severe. General Shekhar, visibly frustrated, gives the team a dressing down that could strip paint off a battleship. The sterile briefing room is heavy with unspoken recriminations, the only sounds being the general's stern voice and the occasional shifting of feet. The mission was a tactical victory in terms of civilian lives saved, but a strategic failure in allowing Kabir to escape with vital intelligence. Firoz and Rakesh, usually quick with a retort, are uncharacteristically quiet, their expressions grim, but amidst the despair, Dr. Aina, ever the meticulous one, re-examines Kabir's taunting message. The faint echo of his voice, replayed on a loop, sparks something. She notices a subtle anomaly, a pattern in the rhythmic cadence of his speech, almost like a hidden musical note. With a sudden gasp, she has a eureka moment. The clicking of her keyboard becomes a furious symphony as she isolates a hidden frequency, uncovering a coded message embedded within his seemingly random words. It's brilliant, devious, and utterly Kabir. The digital chime of a successful decryption lights up her screen, signaling a turning point. Her discovery provides a new lead, pointing towards a clandestine research facility in the Arabian desert, his likely base of operations. The tension shifts from despair to a cautious, almost fragile hope. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, only the needle is also a complex cipher. The team, momentarily defeated, now has a renewed sense of purpose, fueled by the brilliant mind of their unassuming scientist. The metallic hum of the servers in the background seems to pulse with this new energy. Armed with this new intel, our team prepares for their most dangerous mission yet, infiltrating Kabir's desert fortress. This isn't a leisurely stroll. It's a high-altitude skydive into the vast, unforgiving Arabian desert under the cloak of night. The roar of the jet engines quickly fades as they leap into the silent abyss, the only sound the rushing wind in their ears. The endless expanse of sand stretches beneath them, bathed in the eerie glow of a crescent moon, looking utterly alien and beautiful. The metallic click of their harnesses, the soft hiss of their chutes deploying, and the gentle sigh of the wind are the only sounds for miles. As they descend, the faint outlines of Kabir's hidden facility emerge from the darkness, a sprawling high-tech complex contrasting starkly with the ancient, desolate landscape. This place practically screams supervillain lair. Firaz and Rakesh, ever the professionals, glide silently, their expressions grim and focused. Misha, positioned as their eyes and ears, provides critical intel from a safe distance, her voice a calm whisper through their comms. The rhythmic thud of their boots on the soft sand as they make their final approach is deliberate and quiet. They move like ghosts through the desert, each step calculated, each shadow a potential enemy. It's a scene steeped in tension, a palpable sense of dread hanging in the air. The vast emptiness of the desert only amplifies their isolation, making their mission feel even more perilous. They know this is it, the final confrontation, where failure is not an option, and the stakes couldn't be higher. No room for jokes here, just pure, unadulterated suspense. Once inside the labyrinthine desert facility, our heroes navigate a series of advanced security measures, laser grids that hum with a faint energy. pressure-sensitive floors that trigger silent alarms, and automated turrets that track their every move. The hushed clicks of their tools, the soft rasp of their tactical gear, and the distant hum of the facility's vast power grid build incredible tension. They reach Kabir's main server room, a glowing expanse of blinking lights and whirring hard drives. Dr. Aina, remotely guiding them, helps bypass the formidable firewalls. Her voice a rapid-fire stream of commands through their comms. Firoz works with focused intensity, his fingers flying across the interface while Rakesh keeps watch, his senses heightened, every muscle coiled. The soft ping of data transfer confirms their success, a moment of triumph. But the triumph is short-lived. A piercing alarm suddenly blares, echoing through the sterile corridors with a metallic shriek, and Kabir's chilling voice floods their comms once more. He reveals that the data they just stole was a meticulously crafted decoy designed to lead them down a rabbit hole. He anticipated their every move, using their predictable heroics against them. The loud thud of heavy security doors slamming shut around them confirms they're trapped. The air crackles with his triumphant laughter, punctuated by the frantic beeping of the alarm system. It's another crushing blow, another reminder that Kabir is always one step ahead, pulling the strings of their desperate dance. The metallic clang of approaching footsteps signals that this victory has come at a very steep price. They just got punked, hard, trapped, and surrounded. Our heroes realize they've just activated Kabir's giant exit stage left booby trap. The facility, once a symbol of his power, now becomes a crumbling death trap. The echoing blasts of triggered explosives ripple through the complex, sending tremors through the metallic floors. Walls crumble with a dull roar, and ceilings collapse with deafening thuds. Firoz and Rakesh, a whirlwind of desperation and combat prowess, fight their way through waves of heavily armed guards. The rapid-fire chatter of automatic weapons fills the air, punctuated by the metallic clang of their kicks and the visceral thud of fists. Rakesh leaps over collapsing walkways, using debris as makeshift weapons, while Firoz expertly navigates the disintegrating architecture, providing cover fire with precise, impactful shots. Misha, still remotely assisting, frantically tries to find an escape route, her voice tight with tension over the comms. They escape by the skin of their teeth, barely making it out as the entire complex implodes behind them in a spectacular, fiery blast. The ground trembles beneath their feet, the roar of the explosion consuming all other sounds. The heat washes over them, a stark reminder of the close call. It's a chaotic, adrenaline-fueled escape that sees them bruised but unbroken, ready for round two, because apparently Kabir likes to play demolition derby with his own real estate. The desert night is briefly illuminated by the inferno, a stark visual of their narrow survival. Just when you thought things couldn't get any more complicated, bam! Plot twist! It's revealed that General Adil Shakar, the very man who brought our heroes together, has been working with Kabir all along. The scene cuts to a shadowy, clandestine meeting, the faint rustle of their clothes and the low murmur of their voices underscoring the sinister nature of their alliance. The metallic click of a shared device confirms the transfer of encrypted data. The general, previously a figure of stoic authority, now emanates a chilling, almost predatory calm. His betrayal hits like a physical blow, a deafening silence falling as the audience processes this shock. Kabir, finally unmasked, reveals his true, terrifying objective. Not just military data, but access to India's nuclear launch codes. The sheer audacity of his plan is breathtaking, turning the entire conflict into a global existential threat. The gravity of the situation is immediate. The fate of millions now hangs precariously in the balance. The faint hum of a nearby server, usually reassuring, now sounds ominous. The betrayal adds a layer of personal anguish for our heroes, knowing they've been manipulated by someone they trusted. It's a classic villainous move, pulling the rug out from under everyone's feet, making you question everything you thought you knew. The sharp intake of breath from Misha as she uncovers this devastating intel via her secure comms, her voice a choked whisper, reflects the shock. It's a game changer, turning a thrilling action movie into a desperate race to prevent a global catastrophe. With the shocking truth revealed, the race is on. Kabir's target is Mumbai, where he plans to access the nuclear network during a high-profile national security event. Our heroes, now joined by Misha in the field, launch into a frenetic, heart-pounding chase through the bustling, vibrant streets of Mumbai. The incessant honking of horns, the roar of accelerating engines, and the shouts of pedestrians create a symphony of urban chaos. Their convoy, a sleek black SUV, weaves through heavy traffic like a needle through cloth, the tires screeching in protest with every sharp turn. Rakesh, ever the daredevil, drives with reckless abandon, pulling off insane stunts, narrowly avoiding collisions that would turn lesser vehicles into scrap metal. Firoz, remarkably calm amidst the pandemonium, directs him with precision, his voice a steady counterpoint to the screeching tires. Misha provides real-time intel, her voice a cool, calm presence amidst the chaos, navigating them through the labyrinthine streets. They speed past iconic landmarks, a whirlwind blur against the backdrop of the city, the metallic clang of a near miss, the blaring of sirens, and the frantic shouts of their pursuit create an overwhelming sense of urgency. Every second counts, every decision critical. The fate of the nation, perhaps even the world, rests on their ability to intercept Kabir before he unleashes his devastating plan. The sense of a ticking clock is almost unbearable, a relentless pulse driving them forward, pushing them to their absolute limits. It's an electrifying sequence, perfectly capturing the desperate, high-stakes nature of their mission. The chase culminates in a massive showdown at a sprawling, multi-level shopping mall, because where else do modern action heroes fight? The initial festive atmosphere of the mall, filled with the gentle hum of shoppers and the upbeat pop music, quickly shatters into pure pandemonium. The sharp crack of gunfire echoes through the atrium, followed by terrified screams and the crash of display cases. Firoz and Rakesh split up, tackling Kabir's heavily armed enforcers on different levels. Firoz, with his characteristic blend of brute force and tactical ingenuity, crashes through a glass display, sending shards tinkling to the floor, and takes down enemies with powerful, efficient strikes. The satisfying thud of his punches and the muffled groans of his opponents fill the air. Rakesh, on the other hand, turns the mall into his personal playground, leaping from escalators, sliding down railings, and using every available surface for acrobatic takedowns. The metallic clang of his boots on the polished floor, the whoosh of his kicks, and the shattering of glass retail fronts create a symphony of destruction. Misha, positioned strategically, uses her sniper skills to provide long-range support, her shots ringing out with precise, impactful reports. The mall is utterly obliterated, a testament to the hero's chaotic but effective methods. Clothes racks are toppled, mannequins are decapitated, and the food court becomes a battleground of flying food and flying fists. It's glorious, over-the-top destruction, a whirlwind of fists, feet, and shattered dreams of retail therapy. They're like human wrecking balls, leaving a trail of devastation but securing their objectives. The desperate shouts of the enforcers and the grunts of the heroes underscore the sheer physicality of the battle. After what felt like a demolition derby inside a shopping paradise, Firoz and Rakesh manage to secure what they believe is the device Kabir intended to use. They're exhausted, bruised, and probably covered in various sticky substances from the food court. The rhythmic beep of the device in their hands initially fills them with relief. However, that relief quickly turns to utter horror as Dr. Aina, scanning the device remotely, discovers it's not the nuclear trigger at all. Instead, it's a massive, time-delayed bomb designed to detonate in the very heart of Mumbai. The soft beeping, once a sign of success, now becomes a chilling countdown to disaster. Her panicked voice crackles over their comms, filled with dread, warning them of the trap. The realization hits them like a truck, their faces contorting in shock and despair. Kabir, ever the master manipulator, has not only duped them, but turned their supposed victory into a ticking time bomb. The metallic clicks and whirs of the bomb mechanism become unnervingly loud, drowning out all other sounds. The pressure is immense. They have minutes, maybe even seconds, to defuse or relocate the device before it takes out a significant portion of the city. The frantic shouts of Misha and Dr. Aina guiding them echo in their ears. It's a moment of absolute despair as they face the grim reality that Kabir has outmaneuvered them once again, playing a cruel game with countless lives at stake. The faint, almost mocking echo of Kabir's voice, confirming his genius, makes the moment even more gut-wrenching. They were so close, and yet so incredibly far from preventing catastrophe. The bomb ticks down, its rhythmic, insistent beep amplified by the deafening silence of impending doom. Firoz and Rakesh, with sweat beading on their foreheads, are hunched over the terrifying device, wires of every color spilling out like a spaghetti nightmare. Dr. Aina's frantic, rapid-fire instructions crackle over their comms, her voice a lifeline in the face of oblivion. Cut the blue wire. No, wait, the red one first. Wait, no, the diagram says... It's a hilarious, yet incredibly tense, moment of technological brinkmanship. The metallic click of wire cutters, the faint hiss of sparks as they accidentally brush the wrong contact, and the ragged breaths of our heroes create a symphony of sheer panic. The digital timer flickers ominously, each decreasing second a physical blow. Firoz, with his steady hands, tries to follow instructions, while Rakesh, ever the impatient one, argues for a more intuitive approach, which usually involves brute force and a prayer. The tension is almost unbearable, punctuated by the metallic clang of a tool accidentally dropped. The sound of their hearts pounding, almost audible, adds to the scene's intensity. In a last-ditch effort, with literally seconds to spare and a final desperate instruction from Aina, Firoz snips the correct wire. The frantic beeping stops with a sudden triumphant thunk. The silence that follows is deafening, a palpable wave of relief washing over them. They did it! They saved Mumbai, and probably the entire world from a really bad day. The explosion they thought was coming never arrives, replaced by the soft, almost miraculous hum of a disarmed circuit. It's a victory, but a harrowing reminder of how close they came to catastrophic failure. Relief is fleeting. Kabir, with General Shekhar now openly by his side, reveals his true base of operations. A technologically advanced, seemingly impenetrable fortress hidden somewhere in the desolate, mountainous regions near the border. It's a villain's dream lair, bristling with automated defenses, laser grids, and an army of highly trained mercenaries. The sight of the massive, imposing structure carved into the mountainside sends a shiver down your spine. The deep hum of its powerful generators and the distant whirring of automated sentry guns reinforce its formidable nature. Shekhar, his face devoid of emotion, announces his plan to launch the nuclear codes from this stronghold, targeting major cities across India. His voice, once trusted, now drips with cold, calculating malice. The stakes have never been higher. This isn't just about stopping a madman, it's about preventing a national apocalypse. Firoz and Rakesh, having barely survived the bomb scare, now face their ultimate challenge. Misha and Anya work furiously to find a weakness in the fortress's defenses, their keyboards clicking a frantic rhythm. The sheer scale of the threat is overwhelming, a physical manifestation of Kabir's twisted genius. The metallic clang of the fortress's automated doors closing, sealing off any easy entry, reinforces the feeling of an impossible mission. It's clear this is the final boss level, and our heroes are walking into a meat grinder. Only this time, it's a meat grinder designed by someone they once respected and trusted. The cold, crisp mountain air seems to carry the weight of their desperate mission. No time for planning permission, our heroes launch a daring, multi-pronged assault on the impregnable fortress. Firoz and Rakesh lead the charge on the ground, a whirlwind of calculated destruction. The roar of explosions, as they breach the outer defenses, is deafening, sending shockwaves through the mountains. They battle through waves of heavily armed mercenaries, their movements a synchronized dance of punches, kicks, and precision gunfire. The rapid-fire chatter of automatic weapons, the metallic clang of body armor, and the guttural grunts of their opponents create a chaotic symphony of combat. Rakesh performs incredible acrobatic maneuvers, scaling walls and leaping across chasms, while Firoz, with his seasoned strength, plows through obstacles, using brute force and clever tactics. Meanwhile, Misha, a lone wolf with a sniper rifle, finds a vantage point, her precise shots picking off key targets with sharp, echoing reports, disabling surveillance systems and providing critical cover. She then infiltrates a separate section of the fortress, moving like a ghost through the shadowy corridors, her silenced pistol whispering death. The fortress itself groans under the assault, alarms blaring with a metallic shriek, lights flickering, and the hum of damaged machinery filling the air. It's a relentless, high-stakes battle where every step could mean the difference between victory and oblivion. The metallic scrape of their boots on concrete and the desperate shouts of the mercenaries underscore the sheer intensity. They're literally tearing the place apart, brick by technologically advanced brick, proving that even the most impenetrable fortress is no match for two very determined, very angry soldiers and their equally lethal support. Inside the fortress's heavily guarded control room, General Shekhar, his face a mask of chilling resolve, approaches the main console. The room is a sterile hub of advanced technology, filled with the soft hum of computers and the gentle click of buttons. On the colossal screen behind him, a terrifying digital countdown flickers to life, indicating the initiation of the nuclear launch sequence. Each decreasing digit is a hammer blow to the heart, amplifying the unbearable tension. The low, ominous tone of the system announcing launch sequence initiated reverberates through the room. His finger hovers over the final activation button, a chilling tableau of impending doom. He calmly relays instructions to his remaining loyalists, his voice devoid of emotion, a cold, clinical tone that chills to the bone. This isn't just about winning, it's about making a statement, a final devastating act of vengeance. The fate of countless lives hangs precariously in the balance, resting on the single push of a button. The subtle metallic click of his finger pressing a key on the console, advancing the countdown, sends shivers down the spine. The visual of the flickering red numbers, steadily dropping, creates an overwhelming sense of urgency. Our heroes are fighting against the clock, literally, to prevent a catastrophe of unimaginable scale. The sound of distant explosions and gunfire from outside the control room underscores the battle raging on, a desperate race to reach him before it's too late. The air itself feels heavy with the weight of global annihilation. Fireoz finally crashes into the control room, his face etched with fury and betrayal. The metallic clang of the heavy door bursting open announces his arrival. The nuclear countdown ticks relentlessly in the background, a chilling soundtrack to the inevitable confrontation. This isn't just a fight. It's a deeply personal duel between a disillusioned mentor and his former protege. The air crackles with unspoken history and raw emotion. General Shekhar, no longer the stoic figure, engages Firoz in a brutal hand-to-hand combat. Their blows land with visceral thuds, each impact echoing the weight of their shattered bond. Firoz, fueled by righteous anger, fights with a ferocity that belies his calm demeanor, his movements precise and powerful. Shekhar, however, matches him blow for blow, his training as a military leader evident in his calculated strikes and defensive maneuvers. The faint grunt of exertion from both men, the metallic scrape of their boots on the floor, and the occasional sharp gasp for breath highlight the sheer physicality of their struggle. Their dialogue is sparse but loaded, each word a painful reminder of their past loyalty and present enmity. Firoz demands to know why, his voice raw with pain, as Shekhar chillingly explains his distorted vision for a new world order. It's a heart-wrenching battle where every punch carries emotional baggage, and the fate of millions hangs in the balance. The rhythmic beeping of the countdown is a constant, terrifying reminder that time is rapidly running out. This isn't just about winning. It's about stopping a man he once respected from destroying everything they both stood for. While Firoz battles Shekhar, Rakesh intercepts Kabir, who attempts to make yet another daring escape, this time with a backup plan to remotely activate the nukes. The faint whirring of Kabir's concealed devices and the rapid clicks of his attempts to hack into the system underscore the immediate threat. This duel is a clash of speed versus cunning, acrobatics versus augmented strength. Rakesh, a blur of motion, leaps and spins, delivering aerial kicks and powerful punches, his movements almost too fast for the eye to follow. The metallic clang of his strikes against Kabir's reinforced armor fills the air. Kabir, unmasked and wielding a variety of hidden gadgets, counters with surprising agility, his moves calculated and brutal, each block and parry delivered with a sharp hiss of effort. He uses the environment to his advantage, triggering traps and distracting Rakesh with explosive charges that erupt with a concussive thud. The control room becomes their battleground, with consoles sparking and screens shattering, adding to the chaotic symphony of their fight. The rapid beep of the nuclear countdown, now dangerously close to zero, amps up the tension to an unbearable degree. Rakesh must not only defeat Kabir, but also prevent him from activating the launch codes. The desperate shouts of Misha and Aina, guiding them on comms, add to the frantic pace. The distinct sound of a powerful energy blast from Kabir's arm-mounted weapon, narrowly missing Rakesh, shows the villain's technological edge. It's a high-stakes chess match played out with fists and feet, where failure means global annihilation, and the only rule is survival. As the nuclear countdown nears zero, the tension is almost unbearable. With both Firoz and Rakesh struggling against their formidable opponents, it looks like a losing battle. The incessant, accelerating beeping of the countdown timer is a relentless auditory torture. Firoz, severely injured but fueled by an unwavering resolve, sees a final, desperate option. A manual override that requires a self-sacrificing, physically impossible maneuver. The faint metallic click of a hidden panel opening reveals the exposed circuitry. He makes the decision in a split second, a silent, grim determination etched on his face. With a guttural grunt of effort, he pushes through his pain, executing a complex sequence that simultaneously disables the launch and saves Rakesh from a fatal blow from Kabir. The sound of his body straining against the machinery, the sharp crack of snapping circuits, and the sudden, glorious silence as the countdown timer freezes reverberate through the control room. The collective gasp of relief from Misha and Aina over the comms is almost audible. It's a moment of pure, unadulterated heroism, a testament to Firoz's unwavering commitment to his country and his partner. He collapses, exhausted, but with the quiet satisfaction of a mission accomplished. The immediate, profound silence after the bomb is diffused is almost as shocking as the countdown itself, a moment of profound, shared relief. The weight of the world lifts, replaced by the heavy breathing of the surviving heroes. The scene delivers an emotional gut punch, reminding us of the true cost of heroism and the sacrifices made to protect what matters most. In the immediate aftermath, the control room is a scene of utter devastation. Sparking consoles, shattered screens, and the lingering scent of smoke. But amidst the wreckage, a profound silence settles, broken only by the ragged breaths of our heroes. The metallic hum of damaged machinery is a stark contrast to the earlier cacophony. Firoz, Rakesh, and Misha stand amidst the destruction, exhausted, battered, but undeniably victorious. The adrenaline slowly drains, leaving behind a deep sense of relief. There are no grand speeches, just shared glances that speak volumes. The faint, almost imperceptible nod from Firoz to Rakesh acknowledges their hard-won partnership. Kabir and General Shekhar are apprehended, their grand schemes reduced to rubble and handcuffs. The distant wail of military sirens, finally arriving, signals the official end of their ordeal. Misha, ever the professional, coordinates the cleanup and capture, her voice steady now, but with a hint of fatigue. Dr. Aina, via comms, confirms the global networks are secure, her voice a wave of relief. The subtle sounds of debris shifting underfoot and the soft sighs of our heroes underline the quiet triumph. It's a moment of reflection, a silent acknowledgement of the sacrifices made and the bonds forged in the fires of battle. They've saved the world, probably without needing a permission slip for all the collateral damage. The sun begins to rise, casting long shadows, a symbolic end to the darkness they faced. This quieter beat allows the audience to collectively exhale, basking in the glow of a hard-earned victory. The faint, almost gentle sound of dust settling becomes the backdrop to their shared, unspoken relief. Fast forward a bit, and our heroes are back in a more formal setting, receiving their well-deserved medals. They stand stiffly in their pristine uniforms, looking as uncomfortable as two lions in a library. The gentle clink of their medals being pinned onto their chests, the soft murmur of applause, and the polite coughs of the dignitaries fill the air. Firoz, ever the charmer, tries to maintain a dignified composure, but you can almost see the gears turning for a witty escape. Rakesh, meanwhile, is practically vibrating with suppressed energy, probably itching to do a backflip off the stage. No sooner are the medals securely fastened than they revert to type, immediately engaging in their signature playful banter. Firoz probably mocks Rakesh's salute, while Rakesh jokingly critiques Firoz's dad-level heroism. The soft chuckles from the audience confirm that their unique brand of camaraderie is as endearing as it is effective. The metallic sound of their medals gently rubbing against their uniforms becomes almost a soundtrack to their renewed bickering. Misha and Aina watch on, a slight smile playing on their lips, clearly appreciating that, despite saving the world, these two are still, well, these two. It's a lighthearted wrap-up, confirming that while they can be serious when necessary, their true essence lies in their dynamic, often sarcastic partnership. The quiet murmur of congratulations soon gives way to the louder, more familiar sounds of their friendly jabs, a comforting sign that things are back to their gloriously chaotic normal. The scene provides a satisfying sense of closure, assuring us that even after preventing global disaster, some things never change. As the credits begin to roll, Firoz and Rakesh walk off into the metaphorical sunset, still bickering. Their arguments a comforting testament to their enduring, if chaotic, partnership. The gentle crunch of their boots on a leafy path, The soft murmur of their voices and the distant birdsong create a peaceful, almost idyllic setting. They've saved the day, possibly bent a few international laws, and proven that sometimes you need two wildly different personalities to achieve true greatness. It's a heartwarming, if slightly sarcastic, conclusion, hinting at more adventures and more banter to come. The final shot of them, walking shoulder to shoulder, captures the essence of their journey. Two unlikely heroes who found common ground in chaos. But wait, just when you thought it was safe to go home, there's a post-credits scene, because of course there is. The screen crackles and we see a shadowy figure revealed to be Kabir, battered but undeniably alive, perhaps even sporting a new scar. His chilling, almost imperceptible smirk, accompanied by the faint, ominous hum of some new tech, suggests that while our heroes might be taking a well-deserved nap, his nefarious plans are far from over. It's a perfect setup for a sequel, leaving a thrilling hook and a lingering sense of unease. The subtle click of a new device in his hand leaves us with a shiver, reminding us that evil, much like a bad habit, is incredibly hard to break. The final, echoing sound of his quiet, sinister chuckle is the last thing you hear, ensuring you'll be thinking about this movie long after the screen goes black.